Boston. Jordan. Oh, a spectacular move by Michael Jordan.
Pushing 5 to play in the third. Kobe. Crawford. Hogan. Oh. Bring it on, Kobe, baby.
You are now tuned into the chat room. Your favorite baller's favorite podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Chatroom Podcast. I am the Senator, and with me today, man, it's looking kind of lonely over here. With me today, I just got Coach Francis.
I do, y'all.
And we got a special guest in the building. I'm going to introduce you and then just tell the people a little bit about yourself. We got LJ with us.
What's up, y'all? I'm LJ. From Calgary, Alberta. Coach with CYC basketball with David here. Played a lot of places. Played a lot of different. Played in San Francisco, CCSF there, the City College. Came back, played at University of Calgary. Went on to State, and then finished off my career at Mount Royal. Moved around a lot, some due to school, due to injuries, things like that and such. And now I'm just coaching and kind of trying to give back to the community from all the things and all the great things that I've been taught throughout my years with school and ball. So
that's dope. That's dope. It's good to have you on today.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's just jump into a very quick question. What's your favorite shoes to hoop in?
Favorite shoes? That's tough. It's between two. I'd say Kyrie 2s. Those are probably one of the top ones. And then Kobe 8s. I had a couple pairs of Kobe 8s. My last one I was hooping in were the Venice Beach Kobe's. They're probably like the most comfiest shoes, and you just feel bouncy. You feel good in them, and you look good too.
Yeah, I mean, like kicks. With me, like back when I was playing, like the shoes I used to love playing, like they were hot back in the day too. Pro models. I don't know if you guys know Pro models.
Yeah. Oh, Adidas.
Yeah. Those were my joints back in the day, and also like the Hirachis.
Oh yeah.
Those are fire as well. And then like when I was like young, like grade 8, grade 9 playing, I used to play in what they call like Hyper Rise or Hyper Dunks or whatever
the Hyper Dunks.
Hyper Dunks, what they call. Yeah, and like I had like a pair of all silver ones, like all like metallic silver. They were tough. But then like now playing, like I don't know, like I got a pair of Crazy 8s that I played in, but I haven't played in them since I tore my Achilles, because I tore my Achilles wearing those shoes. So I haven't put those on like to play in a while. Like I'll like walk in them, but like to like get up and like run around and stuff, I haven't put those on to play in. So yeah, those are my shoes of choice.
Man, I wish I could give you guys some answers like you guys is on. I just buy shoes and wear them. Like I didn't have no preference. I never whatever. I was just more of an Adidas man. So it's just whatever Adidas I bought that were ball shoes, I'd play in them. Like I'm a simple guy, man. So yeah.
I hear that for sure.
All right, so let's quickly get into the NBA. So if you guys had to start a team, you guys are the GM of the team, and you guys have to make a starting 5 with the most skilled players in the league, who would you choose?
With me, all right. So let me go. Like it's tough. Like so, I got like 2 kind of toss-ups. Like everything else kind of pretty soft. But like at my 1, I'm kind of in between either Luka, because his ability to kind of manipulate the defense and change speeds, and because he's not really athletic, right? But like his ability to read defenses and like his shot making and his ability to use his size. I got him or Steph in my 1, so I'm kind of torn in between that. I'd probably go with Steph just because he has the ultimate ability, his ability to shoot. So like that's ultimate skill, and his ball handling and playmaking. So I'll probably go with Steph in my 1. At my 2, even though I don't like him, I don't like the way how he plays the game, but James Harden at my 2, he's phenomenally skilled. Like we're talking about in the group chat, like his knowledge of the rules, and his ability to kind of hang dribble, and his ability to gather step and kind of get guys off guard. He does that at like he's the best to ever do that. To kind of like gather step and take the 2 steps, but it looks like a travel, but it's not travel because he gathers the ball on his step. So it's kind of like that's a really good skill. He'd be my 2. So I'm kind of torn. Like, do y'all have KD as a 4, or is he a 3?
I was gonna put him actually at the 4, but then I moved him to a 3 because I mean more so he's primary 3, but
Yeah.
you can he's versatile. You can move him around.
So it's tough because like I want to go Braun at the 3, KD at the 4. That's what I want to do, but I don't know if KD is considered a 4. He plays 3 to 4, right? So, but I'll just keep him there for now. So I'll go so Kyrie, no, not Kyrie, sorry, Curry, Harden, Braun, KD, and then my 5th is tough. Like I got Joker or Embiid. So I'm like, I don't know which one I go to, but I think for the team that I assemble with Curry, Harden, and Braun and KD, I think I might go. No, you know what? I'll go 80. I'll go 80 as my 5. That's all I'll do. So yeah,
it's a solid lineup.
Yeah, that'd be a tough lineup.
It's tough because like they're all skilled, but like it's tough to choose between KD and Braun at this stage because I think although KD is supremely gifted offensively and what he can do, LeBron's intangibles, I think that's a skill as well. And Braun, his ability to kind of read defenses and kind of just know the right play before it happens, I think that'll give him the edge to me over KD. But it's tough. It's tough. So yeah, that's my 5. Even though, as I said, I don't like James Harden. He doesn't play he hasn't played the game the right way to me. And I don't know what the right way is. Like there's no right way per se, but him and Giannis are 2 players where I'm like, I don't like watching them play ball at all. So yeah, that's my 5, yo.
Yeah.
LJ, who you got?
I was gonna say, hold on. Do you think like the way James Harden plays, like you don't like watch him because it's so different? Like, do you think he's just like really different, or
he? Whenever I watch them play, like he is supremely gifted offensively. Like you can't take it away from him. Like his ability to kind of manipulate the defense, as I said, and his shot making ability. You have to respect him shooting the 3.
Yeah.
Put the ball on the ground. He's at 6'5", so he can get to the rim. So like you can't really stop him, right? And the way how Houston has been constructed, it makes it tough. But like watching him play, and it's like it's so frustrating because it's basically him dribbling at the 45 or top of the key, everyone spread out, and you dribbling the ball for freaking 15 seconds, right? And like I don't think that's like that. Like for a few possessions, like end of the game, when you need a bucket, like for a few possessions you got to go 1-4 flat or whatever the case is, you got to do that. But like he has probably the highest usage percentage with Giannis like I've ever seen in the NBA. Like they're like 65% usage for their team, right? So it's like you kind of make guys irrelevant. Like friggin' Eric Gordon is nice, and he becomes like he becomes a ball watcher on the court. And same thing with PJ Tucker. Like his only job is to stand in the corner and shoot a 3. Like that's why he leads the league in corner 3s for like the last 5 years, because that's the only job, right? And like it's tough watching those guys play, man, because I think Daryl Morey did them a disservice, with kind of making them go small ball, but you kind of have to when you got James Harden on the court, right? So yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
No,
I was just wondering. That was just like a quick question for myself, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so I had Kyrie at the 1. Like he's a point guard. He can do everything. He can do a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? He's probably one of the better ball handlers there in the league.
Out the gate.
Yeah, and one of the best finishers for a point guard too. Like the way he can finish, his layup package is you know what I mean?
He's probably the best under the rim finisher NBA has ever seen. Like he got all types of tools under the basket.
He's just so skilled in that manner and how he can develop his own shots. And then I had same with James Harden was my secondary, but I had D Book actually.
I like Booker too. Yeah,
He's incredibly skilled. You know, I mean, he got size.
he
He can
was
move.
close to my second pick too, but
Yeah.
the fact that I haven't seen him put the ball on the ground a lot,
Yeah.
like to kind of create for himself or others. I haven't seen the aspect, so like that's where I'm like, I don't know if I could put him over James Harden, but yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's a solid too.
Yeah, and he just hasn't really been. I think because he settles for a lot of shots because he can hit a
Yes.
lot of shots too.
And he got size.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's hard dealing with him on the closeout, and when he does put the ball down, it's like one or two dribbles and he's going to the rack, right?
Yeah.
To finish for a foul
Contact,
or a dunk or something like that, right? So if he does that and he puts the ball on the ground more and keeps defenders guessing, he can be so much more effective because he has capability. I've seen him in certain different times in the game where he has to put the ball down and give a couple combo moves and get there, and he can do it.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, no, he got skill. Like, if you're playing on the perimeter in the NBA, the NBA is so fast and so much athletic guys in the NBA. If you don't have the ability to put the ball on the ground, you're basically you become irrelevant in this NBA. Like, even like Tyler Hero, like even like his ability to put the ball on the ground, like changed the way how Miami was able to kind of progress through the playoffs. Because you look at Duncan Robinson, like he became basically irrelevant in the finals.
Yeah.
Right. Because you can shoot it, but you got KCP and Danny Green running off the line.
Yeah.
Like if he was able to kind of put the ball on the ground a little more, I think then they would have been a little bit better. They still would have lost, but
yeah. That's facts.
So you got Kyrie and D Book.
Kyrie, D Book, and this is where I was saying KD. I'll just have him at a primary 3. Because you got size with the 2, size with the 3, and then I was stuck between AD and LeBron at the 4 because you got AD, like they can both stretch the floor, they can both shoot the ball.
Yeah.
AD to me is just he's dangerous when he's playing well. He's so dangerous because outside on the perimeter, bigger guys can't guard him. Down low, bigger guys still struggle to guard him. Yeah, right. Because he's so long, and you put him in certain spots of the floor. If you got a good offense around him. Yeah, it's hard. Look at how like Kentucky utilized him. It was tragedy for like opposing teams.
And I mean, even with the Lakers, like Lakers really took that step forward when they had AD at the 5 and Bron at the 4, and it was like
it was dangerous.
The shooters around them, so it's tough. Yeah. So that's
yeah. And then I had Jokic at the 5.
The 5.
Yeah, because he's another stretch. He can spread out the floor. He's crafty, like he can pass, he can make passes, and you have all those guys surrounding him. A lot of basketball movement.
The thing I like with your roster, even though Kyrie is very ball dominant, you got 3 guys on that court who don't like. Yeah, well, I mean, like KD doesn't need the ball, AD doesn't need the ball, so you got like Booker doesn't really need the ball. He can play off the ball a little bit, so I like that with Joker playing that kind of mid post, high post area.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Yeah, because both those guys too, Joker, AD, they play well off screens. Like you look at Jamal Murray, and how their 2-man game is just it's deadly, and you got Kyrie coming off that, it's tough.
Booker, and you got Bron, basically the ultimate point guard in the NBA.
Yeah, exactly.
That's tough.
I went back and forth in my head while thinking about this while you guys were talking. So mine is gonna sound. I'm looking at it from if I was a GM, like how I would want to build my team. So I think at my 1 I'd have Chris Paul. I think at my 2 I'd have Klay Thompson. I think at my 3 I'd have Bron. 4 I would have KD. And my 5 I was going back and forth, and I was listening to what you guys said, but I didn't want to choose somebody that you guys said either. So I'm going to go with somebody that I think he's skilled and underrated, but because he's on such a shit team, he's not looked at as the way how he's supposed to, and that's Vucevic. I think Vucevic he's a skilled big man. Him and Jokic is a better ball handler and passer, but like to play that mid and that stretch, Vucevic can do that really well. His problem is that his team is really not good. Like even if you looked at the bubble when they came back into it, like he was putting up numbers in those playoff games against Milwaukee, and nobody else could hit shots. Like it would be like if Terrence Ross comes off the bench, okay, Terrence Ross just curl and shoot. All right, cool. Like there was no offensive plays, right? And then once they locked down on Vucevic, that's when they really got taken out the games. So yeah, I think if he was a free agent, I'd want Toronto to pick him up to replace Gasol, and if they can't re-sign Ibaka, I think he would be a solid pickup for like a team like Toronto.
Yeah, he because he is an impact player. You put him around good guys too, it takes that pressure off him, and then he wouldn't feel so he wouldn't feel like he'd have to do everything, but he would still be able to do a lot of what he's still able to do, which is a little bit of everything.
He's talented. I think not this year, but next year. I think it is something like it's one of those two. But I'm like, it's literally just Orlando has no offense.
Yeah,
it was probably like the worst offense I watched in the whole playoffs, to tell you the truth. Like, and that's saying something because Harden was just dribble, pass, or dribble, shoot, right? So like, yeah. So I'll put Vucevic on mine.
Yeah, Harden is so frustrating to watch, bro. But like, he's skilled, but damn, I hate watching him play.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. Earlier today, I was watching Michael Jordan's interview on Oprah, and like from back in the day, and then Charles Barkley came out, and I was listening to both of them, and I was like, these guys roast each other very well. Like they just go back and forth, right?
All the time, yeah.
Then it had me thinking, who do I prefer roasting each other? Chuck and MJ, or Chuck and Shaq?
Oh, Chuck and Shaq for sure.
Oh, Shaq. That's a classic, man. You can't go wrong with that.
But like Shaq takes it too personal. That's like, it's the sensitivity behind it that annoys me.
Yeah.
But like MJ just fires back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I was like, I don't know. Like it really had me thinking. But
I mean, it's kind of tough because like, what can you really say to MJ?
That's true.
Like he's beat you in the finals, and he got 6 rings, you got 0, and like it's tough. Like, what do you really say to him? Okay, you're right. Sorry, sir. You're right. Like what you said.
Yeah, and then when Jordan snaps back at you, he don't even got to say a lot too.
Nah, yeah, you don't got to say much. That's tough.
You'll keep it real short and simple and leave you left hanging.
At least with Shaq and Barkley, like they're kind of like peers, not like peers, but they're kind of like on the equal playing field. Like they've guarded each other, matched up with each other. They've gone to fights, like so. Like with them, I think, like they both see each other as they're equal or somebody who they're comparable to. Whereas, ain't nothing Chuck can say to Jordan.
Yeah, can't even touch Jordan.
There's nothing you can say to him. Like,
yeah,
he can't say he's better than him at golf because his golf swing is horrible.
I heard he fixed it. I heard he doesn't have the hitch anymore.
He fixed the hitch. Yeah, he fixed the hitch. But Jordan has been gambling and playing golf since he was like freaking 7.
That's true. That's true. Coach, you want to ask a question?
Oh yeah. So I mean, you've played at a high level. So tell us kind of like what your kind of game day routine was playing at a high level, like at your highest level, or even kind of just back to your last year playing college. Like, what's your game day routine like?
I mean, it stayed pretty similar throughout the years. Looking back at my last year too, we pretty much I'd get up pretty early and I would just go for a walk. And I do like a walking meditation. I actually learned how to like meditate in my last year university too. So I would do just walking meditation kind of before anybody was out on the streets. And it was just me by myself, just to clear my mind with whatever it was. We'd usually have shoot around at around like 11 o'clock or noon for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, hour and a half shoot around. And I'd really just like try to just vision myself like in that gym with the crowd there and just kind of picture what it's going to be like and that feeling that I'm going to get. So I'm not going to go into it nervous in any way. And then after shoot around, get something to eat. And I never ate breakfast really like before.
Would you have like a game day meal?
A game day meal? My game day meal was so breakfast, like I'd always get breakfast. Yeah. After practice, if we didn't have food like for us, I would just go get something quick like Subway. But then I would take a nap. After my nap, I'd wake up, and then I would just watch like on YouTube like different players like mixes, like a Kobe mix or a Dame Lillard mix. And then that was when I'd eat. I'd usually go where like Boston Pizza. They have nice pasta, like chicken and pasta. So I'd always have chicken and pasta from there. It was like every single time. That was my meal. And if I couldn't get Boston Pizza's chicken and pasta, Domino's has good Alfredo. I think it's like a penne. I can't remember what it's called. Penne, chicken and pasta.
Chicken Alfredo.
Yeah. So I would always eat chicken and pasta just because I like feeling like full. So it can. I don't like feeling light on my feet or anything like that, or having like an empty stomach. Which I know people say not to eat heavy, but I like eating heavy. I don't know why people say not to eat heavy, because if I don't feel like I'm there fully. So I do that. Get a lot of work done before practice or before the game. Get my ankle kind of looked at. After my surgery, my feet are just horrible. And then get my back looked after as well, and get like a good warm up in, and then just listen to my music. Just stay locked in with my playlist. And then hit the floor for warm up.
So did you have a specific playlist, like specific songs on your playlist that you would listen to each time, or was it just a random?
Same. I have one playlist. It's called the warm up. The warm up. It has songs that like have been on there probably since my grade 11 year. I've had like the same playlist really. I'd have to go and like kind of re-download stuff when I like switched from like just whatever to Apple Music and stuff like that. But it's generally stayed the same. Actually, probably since grade 10, stayed the same. There's Wayne on there. There's Meek Mill on there. There's a lot on there that kind of just brings me back. YG. I like stuff that just like gets me like dancing, because I just like to me like in a game that's like when I'm having fun and
you're loose. Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, just loose. You know what I mean?
You got a song that you gotta listen to before a game, or is it just kind of just the feel, like just that playlist, or is it like, nah, I gotta hear Dreams Nightmare every game. I gotta hear that track.
Dreams Nightmare is one of them. Let me quickly go, because I can find this in like a second. Let me see what.
I know Dreams Nightmare bumps.
Man, I blame Drake when I tore my Achilles still.
Drake?
Yeah, because that was like when I tore my Achilles, everything I didn't follow my regular routine at all. Like that was the first time I decided to come off the bench, and like the music I listened to, it was right when Pop Star came out.
Oh, yep.
So I made a playlist, a pregame playlist, and it had like the newer music in it. And then I was like, as soon as I got up, I parked in a different spot. I was like, yo, everything just fell off about that day. And it was like, and then like 5 minutes into the game, Achilles torn.
Dang.
And I was like, damn you, Drake.
Yeah, do that.
What you got? Let's hear it.
So my older track like back in high school was Kobe Doing Work. That was my track, my Wayne track. And then as of recently, like my last couple of years of playing, it was T Grizzly First Day Out. That was my track.
Yeah.
To really bump.
First Day Out bump still. I'm not even a big T Grizzly fan, but that track.
Yeah, neither am I. That's the one.
There are some tracks here you're like, damn, this goes hard.
Yeah.
This goes hard.
Our last year it was Shaq West.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody had that for last year. Like on their
yeah.
Like I think now One that I might have to add is I don't know if you guys heard the new Busta Rhymes album,
No, not yet.
but Busta's album is crazy. Like it's fire, right? But he has a track on there with MOP, and they revamped the Poison beat.
Oh,
Like
Spelled it as
BBD,
well?
yeah, Poison, and they're going hard on it, but then they still kept the Poison hook.
That's
Wow,
tough.
I'm gonna have to check that out right after this.
That's
I
like
was-
the new swag, well, not like Tory Lanez is the one who kind of really spearheads that. With,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
the mixing of the
sampling
90s
stuff?
stuff. Yeah, he's the one that
Yep.
really kind of spearheads that. But like that's like I'm seeing a lot of people who kind of do that and kind of make tracks off of that.
Yeah,
Because more or less what I've realized with music, well, we should realize that music is about feel, right? So like even with like that Summer Walker track,
Which one? Come Through? The one with Usher?
yeah, with Usher. Yeah, even with that track, like that's not even a sick track. It's just the like you hear it like, oh, this is an Usher track, and then like she starts singing on it, and it just all comes together really, really well, right? But yeah, it's just a feel. So I think when people do that, like it puts you in a different.
No, but
headspace.
this track was hard. Like I was like when I heard like the Bell Biv, I didn't think they were gonna actually have like the Poison.
Were they
hook.
on it, or was it just the?
Oh, so BBD's on the album, but they're not on that track.
the track?
So they're on a different track, and they use that as a sample. But like at the at the beginning where it's like it's like that they sampled that part,
Okay.
and then they like added a little bit of a drum pattern to it behind it, and then they had the actual hook part.
Okay.
Yeah, but they were going crazy on it.
That's tough.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all listen to anything from like Trippie Redd, but he had a song with Busta, I Got You, and like it's like the baby if you give it. Yeah, they redid that one. That one sounded crazy too.
Yeah, that's tough.
I credit more to Young Berg, to tell you the truth, for the sound. Hitmaker, because when those go like on charts, like Billboard charts and stuff. Like Tory's is there on like the underground level, but because he can't get the clearance on a lot of the samples, it doesn't go right. But Hitmaker's like his own are hitting the charts. Like
so speaking of that, so like Chicks Tape 5, so like that wasn't really an album.
So Chicks Tape 5 was the only one that he actually got clearance for.
Out of all the Chick tapes, that was the only one.
Yeah. And the way how he was able to do it was because he had to have the artists on it. The first four
He
couldn't.
had Ashanti and all them on it.
Yeah, but you know how much money he probably had to pay for that album? Like that's
a lot of profit off that.
I definitely get that for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because his other ones were all like just mixtapes, right?
Yeah, they were all considered mixtapes.
That's crazy.
I think my
3 was crazy though.
Yeah, definitely.
I think my favorite one out of all of them was the Proud Family flip.
Oh, for sure.
On Chicks Tape 4.
That's probably his best one. And then like I like some of the ones he has on Chicks Tape 5, like the one with Luda on it.
Yeah,
that one bangs. With Jagged Edge on it, that one bangs. Like the Ashanti one was whatever. But yeah, like those two are probably my two favorite on Chicks Tape 5.
I like the one with Jacquees. That one was okay.
Jacquees should have such a better career if he didn't come out and said he was the king of R&B. Like he would have been, because even if you look at the LMA Trip, like Jacquees' version was the one that really got the LMA version banging, right?
Yeah.
But you can't come out with a wild statement and say you're the king of R&B without.
Who's king of R&B
at this point?
Yeah, only one answer really. Even though
who y'all said?
Nah, I'm waiting for you guys to say it. I'm waiting for you guys to say it. All right, go.
I know El got breezy. It's Chris Brown.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
He is.
It's definitely breezy at this point right now. Like
he does everything. He can dance. He can perform. He puts a lot in his music. If you like watch,
just that. But like what I'm saying, like just his catalog alone, in this era or this generation, he definitely has the most bangers.
I thought what's his name's his projection of when he started.
Trey.
I thought he was gonna get there was Trey. Trey, like once he came out with the
Trigger Trey.
Yeah.
So he had the pleasure, pain, and
Passion.
I forget what it was. Passion. Yeah. That album there, I was like, okay, this is going to be where he really takes off. Like that was his thing because he had the Anticipation mixtape. He had he had like
one summer where he just had like it seemed like he had every hit.
Everything.
Yeah, his features were
it seemed like he
insane.
had every hit. That one summer is like I'm like, yo, I can't hear a song without hearing this guy on it.
Yep. He had a lot of he had that one I can't remember what that mixtape was where he had like all samples and they all hit like crazy. And like Chris Brown talking about samples, like Chris Brown samples a lot of stuff now. Like like off his last 2 albums, like half the songs are all samples.
Yeah,
so like
medley or what.
I kind of posed this question before on my IG, and it was a very, very, very good debate. But
Breezy or Usher?
Yeah, I want to hear from y'all. Like, who y'all got, man? Like track for track, feel for feel. Who y'all got? Breezy or Usher?
So I did a 20 and 20, just in case it was ever announced for versus. I sent it to Kino from the Not So Soft Pod, and he has it ready to go if they ever announce it. So it's set. Man, I think if they ever got into a versus, it would be the closest versus ever.
Yeah, that would be like if they went track for track, like for real, and like and not like what Snoop did, because what Snoop did with
X.
With Snoop did X, he was just playing stuff just to kind of remind guys, yo, I got some hits too.
I got. His catalog, his mentality was, I want to show everyone that Doggy Style was a classic, just as much as you think that It's Hot and Dark and Hell is Hot was a classic. You know what I mean? Like, because
I agree. But if Snoop came out with a mentality like, okay, I'm giving you my top 20, you're giving me your top 20, we're going at it, then it would have been like a more heavyweight belt. But with Usher and Chris Brown, like if they just went top 20, like that would be like an insane, because they both got like your classic like R&B like staples. Like they got like Nice and Slow and Take You Down. Like they got like staples. Like when you hear it, like it's just oh shoot, like they both got those kind of staples, and they both got like your top 40 kind of like Pitbull kind of, like I think of mix. They both got that as well.
I don't know about you guys, so I'm gonna just pose it to you guys. I believe that Chris Brown's top 40 ones would smoke Usher's top 40
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Just because, but I would say just because Chris Brown has more features. Usher doesn't have.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about like if you put up. I think Chris Brown's Forever is smoking any of Usher's top 40s. Like,
I mean, I don't know. Like you got like Love in This Club. They both got tracks, bro.
Oh, when I mean top 40, I mean like the fist pump, like the ones that were played all across, everywhere.
How that song?
With Lil Jon.
Yeah, but
no, that song.
Yeah, I don't think that's messing with Forever though.
That's a track.
Forever's crazy, and like when they go head to head too, it's crazy because they're both classified as R&B artists. Chris also brings it up a little notch, like because he raps, and like when a lot of people want Chris Brown on like a feature now, they'll want him to like rap even on it. And when you can sing and rap on your own track, like all the time, like that's what brings it to the next level, because it gives you a little taste of both.
I think the one thing where I was doing like the head for head on IG, the one thing where I'm like, yo, honestly, if Chris Brown went into this bag, I don't know what Usher can do with it. If Chris Brown went to his feature bag, I don't know what Usher can say to his feature bag, because Chris Brown, like the amount of features he has, it's like triple Usher has.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only where I'm like, damn, that's tough. But if it was just your best track for best track, then that's where Usher kind of to me beats him. But like, if it's just like, if you're kind of going like, okay, well, now I'm gonna give you top 40, now I'm gonna give you R&B, now I'm gonna give you my features. Like, if you kind of did kind of that stuff, Chris Brown would run away with features.
I think his feature bag is heavy enough, to tell you the truth.
You think
Like
so?
I think Usher's feature bag is heavy enough because we got the thing about these like versus type stuff. It's sometimes it's not the bigger hit that hits, it's the one that people remember the most, right?
Yeah.
And Usher has some on there that weren't considered hits, but people remember once you play them. You know what I mean? Like
the only one I can remember off the top that I'm like, yo, I don't know what like that's a hit, and it wasn't really a hit. Like it's a hit to the people.
yeah.
Like if you were to play it for like people, they'd be like, yo, this is this track. But if you were like, it didn't really hit like Billboard wise. Was Lovers and Friends, right? Like
Lovers and Friends was a big one.
yeah, like that's a track where like you could play it for people in a club, and everybody knows Sade. Everyone knows the words of the track, you know.
Yeah.
But like if you were to go just like off of like success, Billboard wise, that wasn't really like no.
That'd be breezy for that one.
And sometimes that's where Chris hurts himself sometimes too, because he puts out a lot of music. Like albums, he puts out so much music that like they might all be bangers, but sometimes you forget like about a song that's on track because there's like 40 or 50 songs.
If you take it like people like I was going through, I'm like, yo, like you even forget that he had the Tiger mixtape. Right? Like,
Fan of a fan.
You forget he had that. You forget he had the stuff with Fiddy. I'm like, yo, I'm going through like, yo, he has so many.
No,
like,
he has
tough features, bro.
But his problem, and what LJ said is true, right? Is because he puts out so much music, like it dilutes your brain of what tracks he actually put out, right? And then that will, I think that also helps Usher, because Usher doesn't put out music at that rate. It's been so long since we really heard a true Usher album. Like the last Usher album to come out was the one with him and Zaytoven, which everyone just didn't even listen to, right? Like it just wasn't what you wanted from him, right? But like that's why that adds to the feature with him and Summer Walker. Like that would be like that helps people remember that type of thing on top of the beat, right? Like it's
like even like that. I wouldn't even include that.
I wouldn't add that. I'm just saying. It's I'm saying the impact of him being on that track adds to it because you don't hear him that much. It's like when Andre 3000 comes out and does a verse, right? Yeah. It's like, that might be the craziest verse I've heard in a while because you haven't heard Andre 3000 in a while. Like
I think one person who does well at putting out a lot of music and keeps it all like to where you're gonna remember like almost all of it is Drake. Drake puts out so much music, but he knows how to put it out, and he knows like
when to put it out. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He knows when to, and like it's tough because even his throwaway tracks bump. Even the tracks that don't even make the album, he just throws them out. Just here, have that.
Exactly.
They bump, and it's like
pre-album, post-album, like
it don't matter, and it's like Drake now is like what Wayne was in the early 2000s, where it's just like anything he touches, it doesn't matter what it is, it just hits, you know.
Yeah. Look at when he was what was he like speaking Arabic in that one song?
Yeah, it was
like he and people was getting on him too for like acting like somebody who he's not, like with trying to sound like just like all the different sounds like Spanish, Hispanic, Jamaican, everything. And now he's taking that and he's like perfected that craft, and like
even with that, like he hits like even that track with friggin' Bunny or Bad Bunny, whatever.
Yeah, Bad Bunny.
Like like that track hits. Like
the one that just came with that recent one.
Nah, you know that track.
Oh yeah, I know
that track hits. And it's like, and then like I know like I don't know that whole camp is winning right now because Preem just put out
thing with Popcorn.
With Popcorn, and like that's gonna hit too.
And Popcorn put out his own.
Yeah, like that's gonna hit too. So it's like anything like as I said, like Drake is what Lil Wayne and YMCMB and that whole movement was in like 2000s. Like Drake, that's Drake right now, because you put any association you have with Drake right now, you hit. Like that's part of the reason I believe that you know, like Tory Lanez, those guys kind of like had like beef with him earlier.
Yeah.
Like that's why I think like those guys are kind of cool now because like you realize, yo, like Drake, either you're with Drake and that whole OVO crew, either you're with them and you rock with them, or you're gonna get run over.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like it's tough.
Yeah, you look at that Tory Lanez track, when he was just talking about squashing the beef with Drake and then squashing the beef with Travis Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Drake, Travis Scott, like I mean Travis to me now he's running game like because he's hitting from like different.
Oh, he's on different levels right
everything,
now.
you know what I mean? Like with PlayStation, McDonald's, everything now. Like he's taking advantage of it, and he has like the surrounding cast that helps him do so. You know what I mean? Like the Kardashians, they know how to make money. They know the different fields you need to be invested in to make money and how to get your name popping. Like Fortnite, like he's the one that started off the whole Fortnite thing with bringing music into the Fortnite world and stuff like that now too. So it's crazy. It's not just one platform now. It's multi-platform. You look at Drake and Jordan, what Drake did with Jordan, and these guys they're outsourcing and Drake with the raps now. You know what I mean? So it's everything. You can't just hit. You can't be like one dimensional. You got to be multi-dimensional to be able to become successful. So you're the one.
I will say this before we move on to the next question.
Mm-hmm.
Is the most 2020 thing that I've seen this year is that Kanye took Andre 3000 off of Nas's album.
Oh, wait, what? I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah. So Nas had a verse from Andre 3000 for Cop Shot the Kid.
Yeah.
On that album that Kanye produced, and he took him off the album.
You're lying. Why? What was the reason?
There was no reason that came out. There was just a producer was playing the verse, and it came out like last week that he recorded the verse and everything on it, and he was going in. But like, I don't know.
Kanye does other things, man.
He does.
He got other things.
Kanye does what Kanye wants. So, Coach.
Oh yeah. So you've kind of had the opportunity to kind of work with a lot of highly skilled players and stuff. You know, like throughout, like doing like the. Yeah. Hello. You hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Doing the Team Canada stuff and all that. What are like what would you say are like the most important skills that you would need as a player in this kind of era growing up?
I mean, it's tough to just narrow it down to one. If you're looking at like on court skills, a lot of players now, you got to be able to just handle the ball, because if you can handle the ball, you look at James Harden and how he uses his ball handling skills to really create his own shots and to create just space to make the game easier. Because once you create some space, you can do anything. If guys come out at you too fast, you blow by them. Right? Yeah. Or if you shake them up and you get them on your heels, you knock it down in your face, right? And any basketball player should be able to shoot the ball. You know what I mean? Just from being in the gym, you're shooting all day. You know what I mean? You got to get up your reps. But to be able to ball handle at a high level is what's going to bring it there. And then not so much of a physical skill. I would say just competitiveness and in your mental aspect of the game is what's going to bring you there. Because you look at guys you're going to be going against, someone maybe bigger than you, quicker than you, whatever it is. If you know in your head that this is a game that you practice yourself and that you're great at as well, nobody can stop you. Because you look at all the NBA players out there, there's a lot of great players, and any one of them at any given day can put up big numbers, right? So I think a lot of it is just the mental aspect of coming in and looking at your opposing player and saying like, you can't touch me, you can't mess with me.
I mean, like, all right, so like, like, do you think we've all seen kind of that kind of skill trainer label on IG? You know, like everyone now IG is a skill trainer or a skill development coach or whatever. You know, do you think it is a necessity or a need to kind of be able to or have that background, say, oh, I've played the game in order to be able to train athletes at a high level? Or do you think that you can still be successful as a trainer in this climate with with no on-court skills or no history playing the game of basketball?
Man, I personally think that you should have a background in basketball to be able to teach others. And myself personally, I would want to know that the person that's teaching me has had success in their career.
Yeah.
Or else, what are you going to teach me? Just like the Karate Kid. If my trainer wasn't anything, I'm probably not going to be anything, right?
Yeah, no, that's true.
You look at it what it is though, and how things are going now in 2020, and as of like the last few years, it's pretty much anybody out there who can put together a nice video for you, or things like that, right? And players are now looking into the wrong things, and that's why a lot of players, they're not going to find as so much success as other players that are being trained properly in the right way. Right? Because some things might look cool and might look good, and to a trainer it might look good to teach this, but it might not really have an impact on the game.
No, I agree. I mean, like, anybody can really put together a video package or whatever on IG. I think where you really see like skill development work is where you see like what translates on the court, like, you know, like skills that are transferable to like game situation, not just kind of dribbling on a cone or doing a breakdown move at the free throw line or whatever the case is. It's actual skills that you can kind of take from skills and concepts, you know, kind of like understanding why you're doing this movement and understanding when to do the movement, you know, and then kind of taking that knowledge and those skills and transferring that into real game like situations, right? And seeing that improvement, right? So I think that's where the development aspect comes in. But like, I definitely agree. Like, I think that in order to kind of get the most out of players, you got to be able to have some understanding and some knowledge of kind of like on court stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like you can always be like somebody who like religiously like watches the game and, you know, like that kind of stuff. But I feel that like if you've played at a high enough level, your discipline to get you to that level would translate into teaching other players, teaching players coming up. So I think the best case scenario would be somebody who's played at a high level, and you're then teaching your skills or skills that you've kind of come across or skills that you've kind of learned or learned along the way to the next group of guys. So I think, yeah, it's important to kind of be able to kind of have some level of playing basketball, some level.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
So I got a quick question for both of you guys, and this goes back to something that LJ said earlier. So he was saying that like anybody in the NBA or almost everybody in the NBA can just explode for points one night, right? What player scored, like, had a crazy game that you remember that you just weren't expecting, like just watching? So for me,
Terrence Ross.
The Terrence Ross with Raptors, the 53?
Yes, I was like
50 or whatever.
What? I'm like, yo, come on, he's not that kind of guy. But that definitely caught me off guard for sure. I remember that to this day. Watching that, I remember watching that to this day. I'm like, no, this is not. Come on, it's not happening again.
Yeah, I think that was probably the one, because and you think about how long people were talking about that for too.
Yes,
that's what it was.
Yes,
I got two that comes to mind, and well, three, because you guys stole my first one. So I'll do two other ones. One would be the Eric Gordon 50-point game.
Oh yeah.
And two would be the Derrick Rose 50-point game in Minnesota.
Yeah, that's a. And I guess when you're looking at it that way, and that particular time for him, that probably be like the most.
That was more emotional, not necessarily shocking, because Derrick Rose, he's shown that he can do. He's done that before, so he showed that he can do that. He's shown that he's that kind of player. So like, I wouldn't say I was shocked at it. I was just like, damn, after everything you've been through, to come back and have that kind of game, that was impressive to me, but not like I wasn't shocked by it.
Like, I wasn't shocked at the point that he put up 50 points, but I think I was more shocked with how everything went on in his career, and then for him to just battle back and then get to that point, right? Because people are thinking like he was just going to be like a bench player or this, right? And then he came on and just went off. Like,
have you guys watched Pooh yet? The The real story.
No.
Watch that on YouTube. That will put that game into more like you will be more amazed from that game. Just his story and like he really loves the game of basketball, right? And he's just and the injuries that have just derailed his career. Like he was the youngest MVP ever.
Mm-hmm.
The time he got it, right? He's youngest MVP, and like his career was so promising. And the fact that he got hurt on a meaningless play in a game where they've already won it, and the fact that his career has just kind of snowballed with injuries since then, and
other stuff like his Cleveland stint, his New York stint, like
it's just and the fact that he battled through all of that, and came, and he still showed that damn, like he can be a meaningful piece. And even up until last year, like there were rumors that Lakers were kind of looking to get him because of his playmaking ability and his value, right? So his career, like obviously he's not going to be the MVP caliber D Rose, but his career kind of taken a huge 180, you know?
Yeah. Especially his play in Detroit last season.
Mm-hmm.
He had some solid games in Detroit too. So I could see a few teams actually going back and trying to get him.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, and like he's always improved. Like obviously, like shooting was always a question mark in his career, but he's just one of those guys that you root for, you know? So back to the question. For sure, D Rose was up there. Terrence Ross was up there.
I think Brandon Jennings too.
Oh yeah, he had a stretch where he had like 3 50-point games or whatever he had.
Yeah, he was snapping. Yeah,
like early in his career, he had a stretch where he was going nuts.
Yeah, I think it wasn't his rookie.
Rookie year, yeah.
Game, and then
he had 50, but like he had like 3 or 4 game stretch where he was just.
Yep.
He was averaging like 42 points a game or something like that.
Nuts.
He was
Facts. Facts.
One just came to me: the Mo Williams 50-point game.
Oh yeah, Mo.
On Cleveland. He was on Cleveland then, right?
Was it Cleveland or was it Utah?
I think he was on Cleveland, but
it might have been Cleveland.
But I remember he had like 51 or whatever.
Yeah. D Bucks was pretty shocking too, just because of how young he was.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody really
the 70?
The 70?
70? Yeah, 70. but he had 70 and they lost though, so I can't even really. But still, 70 points, goddamn it.
Yeah. For like a 19-year-old.
70 is 70. No. Like honestly, like yeah, they lost, whatever, lost by 20, whatever cases, but damn, 70 points is 70 goddamn points, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you know the crazy thing is, we're saying all these games, and no one is shocked that Kobe scored 81 on the Raptors. Like that was that's like, all right, if anyone was gonna do it, it's gonna be Kobe. So,
bro, honestly, and even though he scored 81, sure, but that wasn't even the most impressive game of that run. Is him having 63 points in 3 quarters?
Yeah,
against Dallas, like that's nuts.
I think what the crazy part about it was that Raptors were up 20, and then he just took over the game, and then they won by 20.
Yeah,
like it's like he's that man. Rest in peace to Kobe.
Sure.
And GG. So I got 2 quick questions for you guys. Well, one quick question for everyone and one quick question for LJ, and then we'll wrap this up. So I'm just gonna ask the LJ question first. So, do you have any advice for young hoopers that are coming up and playing ball, and like what advice would you give them to take their game to another level, to the next level?
I think nowadays, like with this generation, just really staying in the gym, because a lot of these kids now they put in probably just
the minimal effort
within a day, like half the time in a day
minimal
of
effort,
what they should actually be putting in.
For sure.
Because a lot of them they get in the gym for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe,
and
they think that's enough. But it's not. And the time that they're putting in, if they do outside of the gym, like from whatever like a club practice or school practice, is not as much as they should be doing, and it's not as hard as they should be going really. And they really need to start because I mean, like I remember coming up putting together just like having a group of friends that love the game of ball and that are gonna push each other to the point where you might get a little upset with each other on the floor, and then when you walk off, it's back to just regular life. And nowadays it's hard to really find that. I mean, within Canada, every single like every day, you don't really see players like in the gyms as often as you should, and putting in the work in they should, the amount of time and effort every single day. And I'm talking about Monday through Sunday and then Monday again every
And
single
like,
day, because that's
no,
what it does.
that's fact. It's crazy because when you think about it, they have so much outlets, like so many gyms, so many like brand new courts that are being built in these communities, and the fact that because like I remember I was playing, man, and like back when I was growing up, it was either you play ball, like because I grew up in Galloway, so either you play ball at the white building, 4301, right? Either you play ball there, or you play ball at Boys and Girls Club, or you play ball at Heron Park.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the three places in the community where we play ball. Now it's like you can play ball those places. You can play ball at the court outside. You can play ball so many places, right? And it's like they're like you're not seeing a lot of kids actually just play the game, right? And I think that's what's lacking right now in kind of these players. Like they're just they're just IQ. The basketball IQ in the game is lacking. Yeah, their skills might be get better because the game is sped up, and you got a lot of players who are kind of trying to hire personal trainers and do all this stuff, but their IQ in the game, and it just is lacking. So I think it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, like you can even just drive by neighborhoods and see like just empty courts all the time.
Facts.
Before, and a lot of it to do is now with just like technology too, because a lot of kids are inside more.
Yeah.
They're not outside as often as I mean, like even me, I'm only 26, but I was outside a lot more than I was inside ever during the summer, especially. I was outside, and courts around my neighborhoods would always be like full of just people shooting around, whether they're good players or not. People are still outside shooting, and now it's not like that. You look at the nice courts we have downtown, and they're like they're busy sometimes, but it's not as crowded as it would have been probably.
But when you go there
8 years ago,
but it's crazy. Like when you go there, drive by there, it's usually the college guys there, high school guys.
That's
there.
it. No
Like,
high school, junior high.
You're not seeing like the young guys out there hooping. Like you're seeing these guys who just like just want to go back, just want to get a run, because there's just not a lot of availability for guys just to get a competitive run right now, So, yeah.
I get that. Last quick question for everybody. If you could give the MVP award to anybody, not just now, but over time, like people that's been overlooked for the MVP award, stuff like that, who would you give an MVP award to?
Kobe in 08. I was quick, man. Like,
that was. You're not gonna like my answer, but all right.
He got robbed, man. Nah, he got robbed that year. I'll say it. And Kobe got robbed, and honestly, and Shaq got robbed that year too. They both got robbed that year.
First of all,
that's what it is, man.
First of all, the right person won. Okay, my favorite player won.
I would say that from now till whenever. Like Kobe's year that year was the greatest year I've seen from Kobe. He didn't get MVP that year, and then Shaq should have got MVP, and even Bron. All three of those guys were up there having crazy numbers that year. All three of those guys had crazy numbers that year, and the fact that the only argument for Steve Nash was, well, he got it last year. His numbers were better. Sure, but everyone else's numbers were way better, and Kobe was only I think Lakers finished like what, third in the NBA that year or fourth in the NBA, and they're only like 4 or 5 wins different from Phoenix. And man, I'm not even going to get the stats, but Kobe should have got it that year. Period.
First of all, that's a biased take, and for me, I will not allow that slander on this podcast.
No, I don't slander. It's what it is.
No, Nash shouldn't have got it back to back. He should have got one.
The one he got the year before, he earned that one. And like I will hear the argument that his numbers were better the second year. His personal numbers, they increase. You got more points, more assists, higher assist to turnover ratio. His team was doing better. Like all that, great. He got better. So I get that argument. When you look at other people's numbers that year, I'm like, come on, man, that's crazy. And then my second one would definitely be this year. Bron got cheated this year for sure, but
yeah, I was gonna say Bron probably like 3 out of those last 4 years. He's just
Crazy. You can say Braun should have like eight MVPs right now.
Mm-hmm.
You can realistically like look back at the last 10 years and say Braun can have 8 MVPs.
And it's sad because the reason why he's not getting him is because people just expect that out of him. Like they're expecting, it's just LeBron, so that's why he's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to give credit where credit's due.
Facts.
So I will go with LeBron and Kobe on the year that you're talking about.
Yeah.
But the person that deserves a real MVP award is whoever was Kwame Brown's agent to keep him in the league for as long as he did. That guy kept Kwame Brown getting like $7 million contracts, $10 million contracts.
You think that was crazy, or you think what was it? There's like 3 of them. There's the what's it?
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Hakeem in Toronto. Luol Deng is still getting paid for the Lakers right now, bro.
Yeah,
to this day, he's still getting paid right now, bro.
He's still on the
books.
Payroll. Yeah.
And he played 1 year?
Yeah.
And that was like 5 years ago? And he's still getting paid till this day. That's crazy.
Like a 6-year deal, I think it was.
Bro, that's
I think he has a player option
for next year.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. Whoever his agent is, man, just give him the Hall of Fame out the gate right now.
I don't know, man. I still think whoever kept Kwame Brown in the league for as long as he did should get an MVP award. Like that guy might be the greatest agent ever in sports history. But yeah, so we got to the part where we get to promote our social medias and anything else that we might be working on. So LJ, we'll start with you.
I mean, I'm not a big huge CYDC basketball.
CY, yes, sir.
Yeah, CYDC basketball. That's I guess the thing that I think I'm a part of, that I feel the most proud to be a part of, just because it gives back to the community so much. We got Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. There's a lot of, actually, we're doing during quarantine, we're doing just YouTube tutorial, just ball handling drills, like at home workout drills for kids that were at home, and that was for the public too. So younger kids our age, like our people our age, we can go there for workouts and stuff to keep in shape, especially if we go back down in lockdown as well. But CYDC basketball is definitely something that I'm proud to be a part of, that I'd like to shout out.
Sure.
Perfect. Coach?
I mean, yeah, myself, I'm also a coach with CY, so that's something that I've been doing the last 5 years, so I'm proud of that as well. But yeah, stuff I'm working on right now, trying to get this merch out, trying to get it out by the end of the year. Fingers crossed, we're working on that. Yeah, I mean, I've just been here, man, watching Ravens play. We lost today. Got 2 big injuries today, so it's gonna be rough the rest of the year. You guys watched that fight last night? Tank Davis?
Oh, I saw the highlights.
Yeah, I only watched the highlights, and then I was out, and I came back and I watched the Silva fight.
Okay, yeah.
It's supposed to be his last fight. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Dana White says he's not going to let him fight again in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I had to watch Battle Rap last night too when I got home, because it was Tay Rock versus Murder Mook, so I had to take that in.
Yeah, I mean, so that's what I've been doing. I mean, still trying to figure out stuff with this whole state stuff right now with AHS and us possibly going back into lockdown and yada yada yada. So it's just a bunch of uncertainty right now. So I'm just trying to enjoy it, But yeah, you can always catch me on IG. It's Real Deal _Francis. You can follow the Chatroom Pod on IG. But yeah, that's your job, man.
And as for me, you can follow me at The Senator. Don't forget to check out the Not So Soft podcast. We drop every Friday. Shout out to Joseph and Essay, who weren't able to make it today, but check out Talks with the Chatterbox. It drops every Thursday. I'm also DJing on Twitch with the SL Entertainment guys. So that's twitch.tv/SL_ENT. And we do that every Sunday from 8 to late. That's Mountain Time. So that's 10 to late Eastern Time. Don't forget to follow Forlow is going to be on once today. So shout out to him and Dilly and Phenom. And don't forget to follow our IG page at the.chatroompod. If you have any takes, if you have any questions, if you want to be a part of the podcast, make sure to email us at thechatroompod@gmail.com. And we'll be, like I said last week, we'll be dropping this every Tuesday. We're not stopping, even though that there's no basketball. We always have stuff to talk about. So this has been the Chat Room Podcast. We want to shout out LJ for coming on today.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all for having me on too.
Yes, sir.
No problem. And this has been the Chat Room Podcast, your favorite baller's favorite podcast.
Goodbye.
And we are out.
Goodbye.
And we had a guest appearance by Baby Francis too. So
Goodbye. Say bye. You want to say bye?
Nah.
All right, later, y'all.
all right. Peace.
Later.
All right, y'all.